Alright, hello viewers and welcome to a video. This video is a tutorial and I'm going to show you how to make a cool intro for your channel. The reason I'm making this is because I wanted to make one for my own channel, and looking through YouTube there are not very many tutorials, and some that I found just weren't that great. Now, I'm not that great at making tutorials, but there's a need here, so I'm going to try to meet that need, and I should be able to do this well enough. I'm gonna go as slow as I can. I'm gonna try to make this pretty simple, and yeah, let's just get started. So here I've got all the assets we need, but first I'm gonna show you what the final intro is gonna look like. So here we go. And of course mine says Tele Games because I'm Tele Games. Oh yes. So we're gonna make that, and here are the things we're gonna need. We're going to need a background. This background needs to be, actually, before I hit that, you're going to need Vegas, Sony Vegas. I'm using Sony Vegas Pro 12. Yes, there we go. All right, starting off right, perfect. Okay, we're going to need a background, and this background can be JPEG, PNG, doesn't matter. But here's the thing that matters. It needs to be 1280 by 720 pixels, which is 720p in YouTube standards. Which is what resolution we're going to be making this intro at. So I've got that. We're also going to need the sound of a jet. Kind of like this. I'm going to turn this down a bit so you can hear me. Kind of like that for when the text is kind of flying through. We're going to need some static like this. We're going to grab the part right here. Right there. That little part. And here's some vinyl scratches. I'm just going to put this in the background. Just as a little bit of background noise. You'll hear it right there. It's just like little pops. And of course we're going to need our song. This song is by Skills Make Kills. I'm going to link you to it. Yes, I actually have his permission to use this song, which is very cool. So shout out to him. Awesome dude. Let's have a quick listen. It's a great song, but we're going to be skipping to about here. Just like that. We're going to be using that part. Now, all of these assets, you're going to have to find for yourself, because I'm going to tell you something right now. Even though that might seem harder, and you don't want to do it, just finding your own images. Oh yeah, and here's this, by the way. Finding your own images, your own music, your own sounds is going to make this so much better than if you just try to copy mine. Doing this for yourself will, for one thing, it'll make you unique. For another thing, more accomplishment there, and it'll just look better, it'll turn out better. So I want you to find these things for yourself, and it won't be that hard. Maybe at max 10 minutes. I'm sure you can find time. Okay, so let's start this off. I'm going to grab all of those sounds and our background, and I'm just going to drag them all into Vegas. Just like that. So I'm going to minimize this now, and now we are in Vegas. Alright, I went ahead and created a new project. I can't speak right now. Don't worry, it'll be okay. This project is 1280 by 720. You can see it right there. 720p again, with 30 frames per second, which is the frame rate, the standard thing that YouTube uses. So let's get this started. I'm going to pick the background right here and go ahead and drag that into the timeline. Just like that. Very simple. Take your background, put it in the timeline. Alright, step 2. We're going to want some text for this background. So go ahead, right click, and insert video track. Now make sure that this video track is not below like this. It needs to be above. That's because when we put the text on, we need the text to be above this image and not below it, because if it was, you couldn't see it. So just make sure that that's above right there. Now, if your cursor is somewhere like this and it's not where you want it, just go ahead and click about right here, and then you can use the arrow keys if you misclick, just to make sure that you've got your cursor at 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. Perfect. Alright, now we're going to go up to the top here and go to Insert. Now, we could just do text media, but I want to add a lot of effects to that text, so we're going to go to Generated Media. Now, you should see something like this. Make sure that if you don't see it, click Media Generators here and it'll take you there. Now, the one that we're going to pick is Legacy Text, just like that. So click OK. It'll do a little bit of thinking, and I have mine set up to actually pop up the box right here. You should see something like this little box. If you want to, you can just stick it in there like I did. So hold control and zoom out here so we can see what we're doing just a little bit better. And here is where you put your text. So I don't know what your channel is named. Just put whatever you want here. I'm going to name mine, of course, Taylor Games, because that's my channel name. And you'll see that that stays centered. It's just right there. Now go ahead and select everything. I'm going to put this one bigger. I don't want it 72. I'm just going to bump it up to 90. And font. I'm going to be using the one that some of my channel logos have. It is called Slant. Here it is right here. Find your own font. Again, doing this on your own will make it so much better. Trust me on this one. Okay? So there we go. We have this sort of thing. And both of these are 5 seconds long. If we zoom in, that's what it does by default. Right there. It's a little bit less than 5 seconds. I don't know why. Whatever. Why isn't it 5 seconds? Whatever. We'll work on it later. Alright. So now comes the fun part. We've got this little text over the background, which doesn't look too bad, but it's so boring. So we're going to add some things. So right here, this little rectangle with 2 arrows pointing at it, Event FX. Go ahead and click on that. Make sure that you're clicking on it for the text and not the background. Alright, so now we get 2 windows that pop up. On the first one, it's the plugin chooser. So we're going to choose the plugins that we want. We want 5. I think it's 5. So just pick the ones that I pick, okay? We're going to want color curves. Now hold control so you can select multiple. Of course, I'm doing this on Windows 8 to be exact, which I like, by the way. If you don't believe me that it doesn't work well, just check out some of my other videos. It works pretty well, for me at least. Alright, moving on. Color curves. Hold control and also select film effects right here. We're going to want glint. We're going to want pixelate, as well as, where is it? Light rays, right there. Alright, and those are the ones that we want for now. Looking good, looking good. Alright, so we've got those, and go ahead and click the add button right here. And you'll see it puts those all up here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, wait a second, 1, 2, 3. Oh, I'm missing a couple. What do I want? I think I want 6. I'm missing one, I think. Why would I miss one? That would be annoying if I couldn't find it and then this wasn't as good. Alright, we're just gonna go with those 5 because I think this will be more basic, easier to do. Yeah, this will work, this will be good. Alright, so we've got color curves, film effects, glint, light rays, and pixelate. So once you've clicked add, click OK. It'll do a little bit of thinking, and then right here, your text will get messed up. This text is so bling, it's not even funny. Alright, we're going to do this very simply, one at a time. One at a time for all of these effects. So go ahead and click these checkboxes to disable all of these, because we don't want to confuse anybody. So we're going to go one at a time. So with all of these disabled, we've got our boring old text again. So let's go in order. We're going to start with pan/crop, which is there by default. We want it to start zoomed in like this and kind of come out like that. And then as the video goes on, a slow zoom in, just like that. So of course we want to start it zoomed in. I think right about there. Now I'm going to explain this right now. This is very important for this video. These are keyframes. I can just add one right here. That's a keyframe. And a keyframe is a point in time on your clip or your content, your media. It's a point in time on your media when the settings match the settings up here, basically. So if I set a keyframe here for the, here, let me remove that. If I set a keyframe like right here for it to be zoomed out, just like that, if we play the video now, you'll notice that it will zoom out because it will match this keyframe at the very beginning, and then it will smoothly transition to match this keyframe. So that's just what we want. We're going to delete that because that one's a test. Alright, so go ahead and see that number right there. Use the arrow keys and get this on 12, I think. I think 12 will work. And that's when we're zooming in. We're going to want it to be out just like this. Alright, and at the very end, of course, we're going to want it to have zoomed in a little bit. So go ahead and drag that up just to about there, and it will create a keyframe automatically. So if we click play now, you should see something like this. A quick zoom in, and then a slow zoom in. Just like that. Now that's actually very bad at the end there, because I made this way too small. See that? See that? We want it to be about right here, so that this box... Okay, let's try that. Zoom in, and a slow zoom out, just like that. Or a zoom out and a slow zoom in. Alright, there we go. I'm going to make that just a little bit better. Do a little bit of tweaking here. Make it look good. Make it look how you want it to look. Just like that. I think that looks good. Alright, now color curves we're going to do last, so skip over that. And let's start here with film effects, alright? Or, we already started with pan, but I guess we'll do it here. Do film effects. Alright, so go ahead and click this checkbox because we want to enable it. Nothing will happen at first because these are both at 0. Notice how all these values are at 0. Now we're going to want this to be animated, so go ahead and click the animate button. Now, you'll notice we have keyframes again. Here's what I'm going to do. I want a little burst of static right between 2 and 3 seconds. So I'm going to add a keyframe at 2 seconds, and this keyframe is telling it to put nothing in. There's, nothing there. And then I'm going to go to 3 seconds and do the same thing. But here at 2:15, which is 2.5 seconds, I'm going to drag up the grain like this, get the tint a little bit up, and I'm going to get a little bit of dust in there as well. Tint is color, and I'm going to go with a small light blue type of thing. And yeah, a little bit of dust. If we play this now, here's what we'll see. Boring, zooming in, and then we'll have, right there, that static effect. Just like that. Very cool. Kind of like a TV messed up or something. I don't know. But we're going to leave it there because that's very cool. Alright, that is 1 out of 4, or 5, or whatever. So let's move on to glint. This is the bling. This is the bling right here. If we enable this, our eyes will die, pretty much. So we're going to have to leave that enabled. Go ahead and make sure that your cursor is at 0, 0, 0, of course, just like that. And we're going to click animate, because this is going to be animated as well. So, on our first keyframe, we want that to not look, we don't want this to look like it looks. So we're going to take the boost right here and drag that down, way down, just to about there. And horizontal radius, I'm taking that down as well. Vertical radius, he's going down. So we have just like this. I'll enable it and disable it and re-enable it so you can see. It's just like a little thing to pop out the text, and we don't want it to do more than that. Alright, so we're going to go through the same deal. At 2 seconds, we want it to match the beginning. At 3 seconds, we want it to match the beginning. And at the very end, we don't need a keyframe there. Okay, so now, go to 2 minutes and 15 seconds, and drag the boost up to here. Here's what you're going to see. If I play this, just like that, notice how the text got very blue. Watch it, right here. See that? The text glows more. So it's like when the static comes in, the text really shows what it is, I guess. It really adds to the effect. It's very cool. Just like that. Now this is very good. Just like that. I mean, it's already very good. I mean, it looks great. Yes, we're doing it right. Alright, so go ahead and stop. Let's get our pointer right about there. Alright, and we're moving on to light rays, which is another fun thing. Actually, I'm going to skip those and go to pixelate. Let's do pixelate first because I can explain it very well. Alright, pixelate is a very fun one, but we're going to want it animated as well. Now there's no nice animated button right here, so we're going to have to hit these two little clocks. 1, 2, because we want to animate both horizontal and vertical. Alright, so here's what we're going to do. By default, it's at 0, again with the keyframes. And we're going to go to about when it hits down. And if you remember, that was at 12, just like that. So at 12, we want it to be done being pixelated. But when it comes in, I want lots of pixelation. So I'm going to select both of these, like that, making sure they're both blue, using Control, and click plus right there. So we have that keyframe. Now here, at 0 seconds, we want pixelation to be all the way up, just like this. Perfect, that's what we want. Now, again, we're going to make it pixely at that little static thing. So we're going to add, so we have no pixels here, and add, so we have no pixels here. Now in the center, we want lots of pixels, just like that, and I'm going to put it like that. So here's what we're going to see now. Oops, I don't have a keyframe right here. Make sure that you have a keyframe where there is no pixelation, just like that. So it'll be pixelation at the beginning, fading out, and then a little bit of pixelation during that static effect. So here's what it's going to look like now. Watch this screen. pixelation as it comes in, and then boom, pixelation right there. Very cool. Oh wait, no, it's not enabled. I'm like telling you what it's doing. It's not even enabled. Very good, very smart. Alright, now check this. Pixelation as it comes in, there we go. And some pixelation as it does that static effect. Very cool. Alright, looking good. We're going to move on to light rays. This is one of the coolest parts. Now, I haven't learned this fully yet. I mean, I'm just playing around in Vegas here. You know, I don't know what I'm doing. But here's what I've learned. We want these light rays, and that's going to make that cool light coming across here effect. Alright, so we want this in there. So we're going to click the animate button. Alright, and if I enable this, you'll see what it does. It makes like a little, like there's light, you know, shining it, projecting it in your face. So that's what it's going to do. So again, at the first part, we don't want any rays. We only want them to come in after the static. So the static fades and then we have a light source that comes like this. So at the beginning, we don't want any, which means we're going to drop the strength down to 0. Just like that. Okay, and I'm also going to, is this going to affect anything? No. Alright, I'm going to put this X at 0.1 and Y at 0.5 so that the light source is right there. Alright, and we're going to maintain that throughout the whole thing up until 3 seconds. So go ahead and add another keyframe, and that will be identical. No light rays, but the light is positioned off to the left. Now, here's where it gets fun. We're going to go here. At 3 seconds, we have a keyframe, right? We're going to go back to 2:27, 2 seconds and 27/30ths of a second. I don't know why it's set up like that, but it is. Alright, here, we're going to keep it at nothing just like it is. So go ahead and add a keyframe. Just at nothing, but now here's the fun part. We go to the 3 seconds and we can start getting some strength in there. Just like this, and I just want a little bit. Just a little bit. I'm actually going to put this at 0.1. Alright, and now at the very end, at 5 seconds. At 5 seconds, we want another keyframe where the light is no longer at 0.1, but at 0.9. Just like that. So here's what we'll get. Check this out. No light at all. We have our normal thing. We're going to have the static, and then boom. The light sweeps across just like that. And there you go. That is most of it. The only thing left is to get these color curves in. Now, color curves. I haven't messed with these too much, and I know there's some fancy ways to do it. I don't know. Just go ahead and enable it, alright? And we're going to grab these little thingies, and I'm going for an icy blue type of color. Alright, let's go down here. I want a little bit of color, just like that. Let's see, go to blue. I want to go to blue. Alright, and I think I'm doing something. I don't know. Oh wait, drag that down there. I don't know what I'm doing at all here. Good enough. I think it's a little bit blue. So we're done here in the Event FX box. So go ahead and close that. Now at this point, you're definitely going to want to save. So go ahead and save as, I don't know, intro. Intro, just like that. Go ahead and save it. Now, I do want this to be a little bit of blue. So in our text box here, go to Effects, Properties, and give that a little bit of a blue tint. Barely anything, but just enough to be noticeable. Just like that. Alright, perfect. So now if we play the video, we have this really cool effect. It fades in, lands with a smack, and then we've got that static and the light, which is perfect. Now we want a little bit of time at the end so you can admire the logo, apparently. So I'm going to drag this out by 1 second. You'll see it says 1 right there. And I'm going to do the same right here. Now since we have the animation stopping at 5 seconds, you'll notice that it will do this. The light will go, it will stop, and then boom. Just like that. Now I want to change this a little bit because we made that change. Let's go to light rays. Alright, where is it? Right here. Here we have the 5 seconds, but at the end, alright, here's what we're going to do. At 5:03, I want the strength to be at nothing, just like that. And that should help a little bit. Let's save that and try it now. The light rays will, so we got the static right there. The light rays come in and then they fade. Perfect. Just like that. And that is it. Alright, so we've got everything but the sound now. And now we can start working on the sound. So we need our jet, our song. we need our static and our vinyl scratches. Alright, so drag all of those down into here, just like this. And it'll make a big mess of audio, and that's okay. Alright, so let's start with the first one. This is our jet. Sounds just like that. Now we need a good little section. Let's see. Right there, right there. Right there. Alright, so go ahead and split it and grab the section that you want. I'm going to go just like that. This doesn't have to be very long, okay? Because we only need it to play when those light rays are going. So let's see. Right after the static, we want it to hit just like that. That's actually perfect. Alright, when do those light rays end? Right there. That's when they end. So we only want this when the light rays are going. So I'm going to drop the volume on that a little bit. We don't want it to be very noticeable, but we're going to get a little bit of a fade in and a little bit of a fade out, just like that. So now we have this. And we've got our light rays. Perfect. That is great. So you saw what that did. Just adds a little bit. We're going to skip our music and go straight to this, which is our static. Go ahead and have a listen to this. Here's what I've got. Now the section I want is this. This little one here. Sounds good to me. It doesn't really matter. So go ahead and get a split there. We only need a very short section. So I'm going to split it here as well. And let's drag this over. This needs to go right before the jet sound. So let's see. Looking through here, when does the static start? It starts about here. So I'm actually going to drag this out a little bit and fade in and fade out as well. So let's see what this looks like. Perfect. All right, we're going to drop this a little bit because it's too loud, and we'll blend that a little bit, just like that. So let's see it. All right, this needs to have. We'll put it there. This needs to fade in a lot. Just listening to it. Let's try that. And I'm going to drop the volume a little bit. Again, mess with this for yourself. Do what feels right. Alright, that's a lot better. I'm also going to get this fading out, and let's have a listen. Perfect. Alright, that's looking good. Sounding good, rather. Alright, we're going to get our vinyl scratches in here, and this is just going to play through the whole thing. So put this on a separate layer, and just like that. Alright, we're going to play those through the whole thing. So zoom in up on the front here. This is just background ambience noise. It doesn't matter. You don't need it here at all. Alright, let's see. Where is that beginning? Right on the cursor. So just make that match. It doesn't matter. Go ahead and drop the volume a little bit, and we will get a zoom in as well. A zoom in, a fade in. There we go. Just like that. So let's have a listen to this now. Perfect. Alright, I'm going to lower this to about there. And, alright, we're doing good. We are almost done. Go ahead and give it a save. Make sure that you don't lose your progress. Now, here comes the fun part, the song. Alright, so go ahead and we're going to have to find the part of this song that we want. I'm just going to lower that so I don't break your ears. Let's see. Not right there. Right there. Wow, I'm good at this. Right there. I'm going to grab it right at that drop right there. And let's listen. Alright, perfect. We're going to take this all the way to the beginning. Go there. Alright, perfect. And let's see. That little drop ends right here. So we're going to fade into that drop. Just like that. Let's have a listen. Oh, no way. That beat right here, that snare, it hits at the same time as the text does. That is awesome. Alright, have a listen. Alright, so it ends right here. We're going to drag the text over, the audio, over to the end of our image, and you'll be able to tell because there'll be a nice little blue line. I saw it. Did I see it? It should be like right here. Is that right? Yep, that's right. All right, so we've got the fade in. Let's get a fade out as well. Just like this and just like this. All right, so here's what we have. All right, that's about it, guys. I'll be honest. This thing's about done. So let's finish this up by getting some fade ins on this. We'll get one here. I'm going to put it on 8. We don't want a very long fade here. So we've got the 8 right there, and right here, let's go ahead and get, we'll get an 8, because it doesn't matter. Alright, just like that, and let's make sure that everything fades in and out. Alright, it seems like it does. I'm going to drop the volume on the song just a little bit so we can hear some of our background noise. Let's hear it. Alright, I'm actually going to put that back up, just like that, and instead increase the sound of this jet, so we can actually hear it. Let's try it now. Right there. Alright, this seems a bit long. I'm gonna move it to about here. That seems a bit long to me, so I'm just gonna lower the length on that. And same with the song, just like that. Let's try this. Alright, that's about right. Now what's bothering me here is this light ray thing. It is ending way too fast, so let's go to the light rays. And let's just drag this keyframe all the way to the end so it'll fade out. That type of thing. Alright, let's try it. Here we go. Much better. Alright, so that's the intro. That is it. This thing is done. I think we need a little bit more of a fade on the end here. Let's try that. I say it's done. Yeah. Yeah, that's it. Alright, let me make sure that that's the same. It is. Alright, and I think that's about it, guys. I mean, pretty simple. The reason I wanted to make this for you is I couldn't find any, like I said, so hopefully I've helped you out. Hopefully you can go out there and make your own intro for your channel. If I did actually help you with anything, be sure to leave a like. It really helps. Subscribing would be awesome as well. Check out my other videos where I don't do anything inside Vegas, so if that's what you're looking for, sorry, but I just made this because I saw a need. Yeah, so hopefully I've helped some people. Alright, thanks for watching. Enjoy your day. I've been Taylor, and bye.